this is exactly how I would get $100,000 in business funding in 2026 if I had to start from scratch. For context, I've been in the business funding space for years now. Our company, Where This Capital, has deployed over $40 million to small and medium-sized businesses, and I personally help everyday people. I'm talking ex-athletes, single moms, blue-collar workers, former 9-to-5 employees, get funded and build funding businesses that generate 10K, 20K, even 200K a month. So it's safe to say I know exactly what it takes to get $100,000 in business funding. And if I had to go back and do it again from zero, knowing what I know now, this is the exact process I would follow. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build a credit profile that can realistically pull you in 50 to 100,000, how to set your business up so banks see you as legit, not a side hustle, the exact order I hit banks in so you stack approvals instead of destroying your score, and what to do if you don't qualify for traditional funding but still need money. And if you're watching this because you don't just want money, you want to be one of the ones getting paid to help other people get money, stay to the end. I'll show you how to turn this exact process into a funding business that can do 10 to 20K a month directly from your home. If you want traditional business funding, everything starts with your personal credit profile. Most people think it's about having a good score. It's not. Banks don't lend to a number, they lend to a story. The story lives in your profile. Two people can have similar scores. One gets 5K, the other gets 50K. The difference is how their profile is structured. The credit profile is what actually determines how much money you get approved for. And if you structure the right credit profile, getting 50K, 100K, or even more in funding becomes very realistic. So now I'm about to show you the makeup of a credit profile. So ideally, when you're looking at a credit profile, use my hand right, I know it's ugly, y'all, but you first want to have a 700 plus, ideally, right? Remember, 700 plus is just a filter. Doesn't mean you're actually going to get approved just because you have a 700. The factors that play a key part in this is payment history, also utilization, and on top of that, credit age, inquiries, not having any negatives, and last but not least, and most important, comparables. So yes, most banks want to see a 700 credit score or higher, but I've seen people with a 720 score still get denied, and someone with a 690 score still get approved. Why is that? Because the credit profile was structured properly. Banks evaluate risks, and the credit profile tells the full story. So let's break down each credit factor in detail. So now we're going to talk about utilization. Utilization is going to be a big part. When we talk about utilization, there's a couple things that we want to understand, right? Ideally, to have a fundable credit profile, we want it to be under 35%. The gurus will tell you 10%. 10% is ideal, but realistically, 35% is a safe zone, right? So I'll put 10% is ideal, but you don't want to rush or tell somebody if you're funding them, wait till 10% because you may lose out on the client. As you guys may know, one of the biggest factors banks look at is utilization. It shows how desperate you are. If you got a 10K limit and you're sitting at an 8K balance, your utilization is at 80%. On paper, that screams, this person needs money. Banks hate that. As crazy as it sounds, banks love lending to people who don't need the money. Rule of thumb is under 35% is the safe zone. Under 10% is ideal, but not needed to actually get funded. If you fix nothing else but this, your approvals usually jump. So next we have payment history. This is by far one of the most important things, right? Payment history is actually one of the most important factors in your FICO credit scoring model. It makes up 35% of your overall credit profile. Banks want to see one thing. When this person borrows money, do they pay it back on time, every time? One 30-day late can hurt you more than maxing out a card for a month. So if you're serious about getting funded, you protect your payment history like your life depends on it. No oops payments, no I'll catch it next month. Auto pay minimums on every single card, then pay extra manually if you want. You can fix utilization in a few weeks. You fix bad payment history over years. So don't create that problem early on. So now we're going to talk about the actual different credit bureaus. We have Experian, we have Equifax, and we have TransUnion. We'll do Bank A, Bank B, Bank C. Next thing most people have no clue about, different banks pull from different bureaus. Some lenders are almost all Experian, some are mostly Equifax, some lean on TransUnion. So if Experian is your strongest bureau and Equifax is ugly, you don't go apply at Equifax heavy banks first. This is why two people with similar scores get very different results. The pros match their profile to the right banks in the right order to maximize approvals. The banks won't tell you this, but they'll literally pay you for helping small businesses get money. Most people never hear about this industry, yet it quietly pays out 5-figure commissions every single month. In my free course, I show you step-by-step how to start your own business funding company, even if you never owned a business before. You'll see exactly how my students are earning $10,000, $20,000, even $40,000 a month, helping business owners get the capital they need. Click the link below to watch the free course and get the full blueprint to start your own funding company today. So now we're going to move on to hard inquiries. Old hard inquiries that everybody raves about, right? Every time you apply for new credit, you get a hard inquiry. 1 or 2 is normal. A bunch in a short window makes you look like you're scrambling for money. And here's the kicker. When an underwriter pulls your report, they see all of those inquiries. Even if your score is still okay, the story is this person is aggressively seeking capital. That's why randomly applying at 10 places at once destroys people's chances of actually getting approved. You want controlled, strategic inquiries, not spray and pray. Now we're going to talk about my favorite thing and the thing that leads to high limit funding. This is something that I highly emphasize on because this is what gets you high limit approvals on the business funding side. Comparables play a big part when it comes down to funding, right? Comparables are existing credit accounts shown in your credit profile. So your highest credit limits, also past loans, or the tier of credit cards you have. Finally, we're going to talk about comparables, one of the most important parts in funding. This is the bank asking, have you handled this size of money before without messing it up? They want to know, have you borrowed money before? If your highest limit ever is 2K, no one is jumping to give you 25K on day one. But if you already manage 10K, 15K, 20K limits cleanly, it becomes easy for a bank to say yes to 30K, 40K approvals. So part of the game is stair stepping. Get the first small limits, treat them perfectly, ask for increases, use those higher limits as proof for the next bank. That's how people go from starter cards to 50K and 100K plus in total approvals over a few well-planned funding rounds. Whoa, quick reality check. Most people trying to get funding never learn any of this. They just shotgun apps and pray. That's why one person walks away with a 5K limit and another walks away with 100K. Same economy, same banks, different strategy. What I'm showing you is how underwriters actually think. Once you understand funding stops feeling like luck and starts feeling like a formula, now that your personal side is dialed in, let's make your business look fundable. Banks aren't just judging your credit, they're judging whether your business looks real or raggedy. If you're using a Gmail, PO box, and a personal checking account, you're telling the bank this isn't a serious business. So now we have what I like to call business fundamentals. These are what you need, the essentials to actually running the business. Obviously, you need to file your LLC. Next, you need a business address. Then you want a domain email. And then you want a biz phone number. And last but not least, biz bank account. Your business needs to look like a real company. LLC or corporation, business bank account, business phone number, address, and domain email. When an underwriter reviews your file, this stuff is either giving you invisible brownie points or quietly disqualifying you. Inside our academy, we teach something called the CRD formula. Almost every approval comes down to these 3 things: credit, relationships, and deposits. Credit is your profile. Relationships are your existing accounts and history with that bank. Deposits are the money flowing through your accounts. If you got solid credit, active accounts with that bank, and real deposits hidden every single month, you're not just another application, you're a familiar, low-risk customer. So if you're starting from scratch, part of your funding strategy is set up the right business bank accounts, run your income and expenses through them, tighten relationships with a few key banks instead of being random. That alone can be the difference between a denial and a 20K approval on a credit card and a 30K approval on a line of credit. What I'm about to show you next is where most people destroy their funding chances without even realizing it. Inside of our academy, we literally spend hours on just this part because if you mess it up, you can ruin it for months. But if you get it right, this is where you start stacking multiple approvals in the same funding round. Let me show you exactly how I do it in 2026. This is the step where most people destroy their funding chances without realizing it. The mistake is applying to a bunch of banks all at once in random order. Every single time you apply for credit, it creates a hard inquiry. Hard inquiries can lower your credit score. And when other banks see multiple inquiries in a short period of time, they assume you're desperate for credit, which reduces approval odds. So instead of shotgunning your credit on applications, you sequence them. A lot of people don't realize this, but there's actually a strategy to how you should apply for funding, right? So here's our app order or sequencing order that some people call it, right? Number 1, you want to go to your national banks. Number 2, regional. And last but not least, the hidden gem would be credit unions. The order you apply actually matters. You start with national banks, then you move to regional banks, then you hit credit unions. Each single layer increases your approval opportunities, and when this sequence is executed correctly, that's when people start seeing multiple approvals in a single funding round without destroying their credit profile. Now, here's something most people in the funding industry don't talk about. Not everyone qualifies for traditional lending, but that doesn't mean the opportunity is gone. There's a completely different funding model that banks don't offer, but private lenders do. Understanding the second model is how serious funding companies are able to help almost every business owner that comes through their pipeline. Let me break that down for you. We have something called alternative lending. With alternative lending, you just need a 500 plus credit score. You need to be making at minimum $8K a month in biz revenue. And last but not least, you need to have at least been in business for 6 months or more. I'll put 6 months, TIB, time in business. Alternative lenders focus less on credit and more on cash flow. If a business generates consistent revenue and has 6+ months in business and deposits, they can still qualify for funding even if their credit profile isn't perfect. So the different products that you have when it comes to alternative lending are MCAs, which are merchant cash advances, term loans. You also have BLOCs, which are lines of credit, and you have EQ, we'll call it, that's equipment financing. These products are designed for businesses that are already generating revenue. Industries like restaurants, contractors, e-commerce brands, medical practices, logistics companies, and unlike traditional banks, alternative lenders can fund in as little as 24 to 48 hours. If you're building a funding business, here's the key. The lender pays the broker, not the client. That means you can help businesses access capital without charging big upfront fees and still earn 10 to 15% commission on the back end. Once you understand both models, the credit model and the revenue model, you can serve almost any business owner that needs capital. That's exactly how funding companies scale. And that's the exact roadmap to getting 100K in business funding in 2026. Now, if you actually want the full step-by-step breakdown of how to build an entire funding business around this, I made a free course that covers everything from A to Z. That video is on the screen right now. Go watch it. And if you already know you want hands-on help and want to work directly with me, the first link in the description is where you apply. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.